Hey, yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Growth Podcast, man. I am your host with the most, that man Trip, and we are here for a very impromptu episode. Just out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? This little ad hoc, you know what I'm saying, Splinter Cell group, a small group of highly skilled individuals from the Growth Squad to come talk about some recent developments, but we are here nonetheless. I am joined by two wonderful Growth members, and one of their names is When Easy, fresh back from the DR. How is you doing, dog?
I am sunburnt, I am hungry, and I am chilling.
That's lovely. That's lovely. You know what I'm saying? I can't I can't speak highly enough of that, man. Yeah, man's rejuvenated. You love to see it. You love to see it. And of course, our other Growth Squad member in on the podcast today. His nation is currently the cause of so much unrest in the skies in the northern United States due to all
my nation.
Yes, your nation, Canadian. Silence.
I am not Canadian. First of all,
the proper Canadian is in the building. Ken knows it. He's here. How you doing? How you doing, man?
This is coming from the guy that claims New York, but has been in Florida for the majority of his life.
Hey, shut your ass up. Shut your ass up, bro. Canadian?
I'm not taking this
Where's your
slander.
passport? Where's your passport?
Nah, but I'm doing all right, man. Like, things have been, content's been like crazy. Things have been crazy for no reason. So yeah.
No, I hear you, man. But we're moving through. And of course, make sure you guys check out The Growth Podcast on all social and audio platforms. Spotify for podcasts, Apple Podcasts, because check us out there, The Growth Podcast. Our YouTube channel should be somewhere in the descriptions or somewhere in our profile links. Just type in All for Growth. You should see us there at All for Growth on Twitter and at All for Growth on other social platforms like TikTok and Instagram. Make sure you check us out there for dope content. All of our individual contributors, all of our squad members, make sure you go show love to all of them. And without further ado, man, we got to start off with, basically, wow, the reason this whole ad hoc episode sprouted up. Twitch has seemingly lost their mind. You know what I'm saying? With all these walkbacks, retractions, but crazy statements nonetheless. They have made it known over the past day. They brought out some branded content guidelines, which basically pose some severe restrictions upon branded content sponsorships that you can get. Basically, they're trying to have a whole check and balance system where everything runs through them. To give a quick rundown of what they proposed yesterday, they said on-stream logos would be limited to 3% of screen size. Burned in video ads would not be allowed. Burned in display ads would not be allowed. Burned in audio ads would not be allowed. So basically, anything that you funnel in from OBS that's an ad from a sponsor is not allowed. And they also introduced, and proposed some type of way to basically kind of clear your ads from written consent through Twitch's platform, or else they would not accept it. So basically, they were trying to stronghold the entire ad revenue process and sponsorship process outside of Twitch, which is insane. There's been a huge amount of backlash, a huge amount of talk and buzz around it. Twitch even retracted their statement. You know what I'm saying? We heard Twitch ambassadors just got word of it whenever it got dropped, so there was no prior indication from other internal channels outside of the team who was dropping this news in the first place. A whole lot of war, a whole lot of unrest. This is crazy. Let's talk about this. I'll go to Wen first. How are you feeling about just this entire situation, the rollout, the walk back, the entire craziness going on with Twitch right now, and just the sponsor apocalypse, as it may be?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Trip. I was watching this whole thing unfold, and the entire time I was sitting there, not surprised one bit. Like, I was watching this go down, and I was like, man. It feels like that company is being run by like interns. Like, I don't know what the idea is. It just seems it's greedy. I've already been very vocal about how I feel about Twitch's like entire monetization system, all of it. Like, I always felt that they were, out of all the platforms, probably would have felt like to me to be the most greediest up front. It's hard to like compare them to YouTube because I don't know all the YouTube numbers. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. They're very like, the way it's broken down is kind of like automated to a point where like I'm not really sure how it works. But from the jump, 50% of your subs, that was already a horrible deal, and it was already anti-creator from the get-go. On top of like trying to stick their teeth into the sponsorships that keep a lot of creators afloat. Honestly, there are a lot of creators who make a lot of their living off of sponsorships and not not at all connected with things like sub goals and things like that. So it was always just like very strange to me, this decision that they made, because why would you, or who's already giving a really bad deal to your creators, making it harder for them to live? It just doesn't really make any sense to me. It's kind of just like it feels like uh very Amazon of them, if that makes sense. It feels like, hey, I'm gonna try to squeeze every single dollar I can out of you. I understand that this may like cause you to cease to work here or cease to exist, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm still getting paid.
Mm, mm. Yeah, man. It's wild. It's wild. I personally, again, part of me expects it, but not. The timing is always funny. I am always on I guess on the mind state of Twitch will be liable to pull some very wild stuff from time to time, but just the occasion and the occurrence and the timing is always like the potential worst time it could ever be. Cause not but what 3-4 days ago, Drake was on Kick dropping
Handing out subs, bro.
hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of subs, getting his car declined, millions of dollars worth of. He's like, oh, my bad, oh, embarrassing, and loads another card up and still gambles. So he's dropping money on Kick with no problem, and everybody's looking at Kick like, yo, this is crazy. What's the name? Bruce dropping off signs with Kick for a good amount of money on a deal, multi-year. And that happens, you know what I'm saying? Like all these people starting to move to Kick. All these people are getting deals on different places. What's it called? Them two boys, Kai Cenat and Speed got a show coming to Rumble, I think, or I think it was Rumble.
Yeah, it was Rumble.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening in other areas and other competitors. And what does Twitch decide to do as a response? Let's fuck our entire creator base without a hitch. And drop this and say, hey, everything that you make outside of Twitch subs has to run through us, or you're not streaming on our website. All the ads you make, all the sponsorships you get, all the money you get from that, if you don't clear that with us, you can't even broadcast that stuff unless we get an A-OK, unless we get written consent. That's the most selfish, self-centered thing I've seen an app do in a long time, in a very long time. That's crazy. And the thing that's getting me here is, one, when this first backlash hit, some people tried to defend this. Some people really tried to defend these actions. And I'm just like, bro, you got to call a spade a spade. This is indefensible. How can you be a site for the creator when everything you do is against it? How can you tell people, again, things in the past like, oh, go to another site, build a following, and then bring them back here? No,
because their website no longer cares about like the people that were on the platform.
Obvious answer.
It's not the same people anymore.
Yeah, the regime obviously is not receptive to what Twitch once was. And the sad thing is, we did you know what I'm saying, mention this yesterday on another podcast. Shout out No Cool Down. It feels like it's dying, bro. It feels like just making moves to only speed up the process of them being a lesser component in this space. Yes, they're going to be a leader by age and, you know, just grandfather policy. They were here first, so, you know what I'm saying, they get some type of, you know what I'm saying, they get divine right to market share. But I can completely see that dwindling over the years, and fast, if they keep making decisions like this, which they continue to do. They continue to make decisions like this without fail. And it's like, yo, do you want your platform to survive? And the answer seems like no, because there's no redeeming quality to me that natively is within your system. That's like, oh, that makes Jeff Bezos go, oh, maybe we should keep you around for a few more years. Maybe we should hold you down. You know what I'm saying? Everything seems like it's just to clip at whatever market share you guys left and try and squeeze as much money, as much clearance, and as much control you can out of the people who are still on your site. And this can only end one way: when everybody else around you is getting stronger, they're getting smarter, they have better offers than you, and they're getting stronger functionality. Like, at some point, the ball's gonna catch up to Indiana Jones. The boulder's gonna catch up to Indiana Jones. This is one he can't outrun this time. You know what I mean? Like, it's not looking good, but Kendall, let's roll to you, man. I know you have some stocked up in the chamber for this, but how are you feeling about everything Twitch is doing right now?
I mean, I feel like genuinely, I feel like you hit on a lot of it already. My thing is that it was more that they kind of just hit send. They were like, yo, let's see the reaction. And then like they had to have known. Like they had to have known that this was going to be the reaction from creators. And like my whole thing is like you have obviously there are going to be like ways of people working with certain things, and I get that. But like to me, to a point, why did they hit send? That's the biggest thing I want to know. Like, why did you hit send on that tweet? Or not even the tweet, the agreement to it, not a tweet, because you know it was sent out by another content creator, Zach Bussy, basically, or whatever you say his name. And for a lot of it, I asked the question: is like, is it the same people? Like, do they care anymore? Do they want like, are creators making too much money? Like genuinely, are creators making too much money? Because I'm not. I don't know who else is, but maybe at the top, maybe that's what they're looking at,
bro. And I think that's the problem, though. Before we get back into that, go to your next point. Like, I think that's what they're looking at. Because there was another policy we saw in there as well. They changed the multi-stream policy as well. They operated that user wide, whether you're affiliate, user, or whatever. You cannot multi-stream. You can't multi-stream at that point. You can't simulcast. So I feel like they were looking at Ninja, and Ninja was talking about at some point on the timeline today or yesterday or whatever. He was like, why would I stay? Now that you change the policy and you're trying to shoehorn creators, why would I stay? You know what I'm saying? On one hand, you have, you know, Kick, YouTube, you know what I'm saying, Facebook or wherever he streams at, and he can go that way, or just stream on Twitch and barely make any money in comparison. I feel like he's just looking at Twitch is looking at the big creators and the creators that follow suit to what Ninja does in terms of practicality and what they do in practice, to basically say, this is our policy. You can't bank on that. We don't care about the small creators. That's obvious. They never cared about the small creators, especially this new regime. That is crystal clear. Whatever happens, they don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? At least from all the actions that they've shown so far, that's what they've displayed. But to the bigger creators who are bringing in a lot of revenue, that's what they're looking at. I feel like they're looking at that to try and lock down and whittle down like how much revenue is escaping of Twitch's grasp, but like potentially all the potential gains of whatever, and trying to mitigate that. And that's what I think that a lot of this is stemming from. They're just trying to find ways to bring money and keep money rotating on the platform.
I don't know if it's just about like rotating money on the platform. I think it's more of like honestly, the best way to say it is like they whipped their dick out. And that's basically like what the answer was. Like they knew that people would be upset. Like 3% of like obviously having like your sponsors and being able to like work with like, you know, other people. It's like they're like, yeah, we're trying to protect you. But like in all honesty, there's been way more predatory things that have been on this platform. And like obviously they don't say anything about that. They don't care about like, you know, obviously when it came down to like the gambling, they only did something because again, the bigger creators like were the reason for it. And that was why. It's like yesterday even, like, was it more because like you had bigger creators that said something, or like do y'all actually like be like, is that a reason why you sent out all like going back on everything? Is that why? I don't know. At this point, I think for myself, I'm just more annoyed at Twitch as time goes on. Like obviously I stream on there, still stream on there. But for myself, I look at it as like, yo, I need to wake up. Like that's my biggest thing is I need to wake up.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Like I agree with exactly what you said, which is like honestly, I feel like streaming on Twitch as a small streamer is kind of just like a bonus to them. It's like, yeah, sure, like you guys, yeah, we don't care if you guys stream, yeah, sure, whatever. Get some subs, you know, we love you, da 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 da. But like things really only move when the top 1% moves. And it's kind of sad to make that realization as a small streamer, because that means like at any point in time, like let's say the entire 1% was like, yo, we're leaving Twitch. Like I could see them being like, well, we're shutting it down. Like we have no reason to have this up. Like I could see shit like that. Like it really like, it goes to show how much they really care about the smallest streamer. And it's really funny because like there's always been predatory shit, right? Like there's always been predatory shit on streaming. I can tell you, I've seen so many people like show deals of like, hey, if you stream our game for 30 hours and then you shout us out 3 times and send us 17 clips, if 30 people are watching you while you're doing that, we'll give you some money. And I've seen people attempt to do shit like that. Like there's a lot of games that I won't name that are very predatory in the way that they try to like sponsor or partner with creators. But Twitch never cared about that stuff. They don't care about that. It's when you hear things like Ninja or anybody being like, "Hey, I'm making like X amount of money from this company," and they're like, "Wait, we don't get a cut of that." And I think that's really what it comes
Basically.
down to.
Mhm.
Is like there's millions of dollars being made, and Twitch gets zero cut, and they're tired of it. And I feel like that's why they were started enforcing the restreaming thing, because like they didn't care that streamers were leaving; they cared that streamers are taking their money with them.
Mm.
That's why
Right.
they're like, we don't want to enable that kind of behavior. They're about their bread, and like at the end of the day, it kind of is what it is. But if you're here, if a lot of the people who are there for the Twitch experience are there for like, I'm here to get subs. Like if you're a lower level streamer, a medium level streamer, and you're really, your community is what keeps you afloat. It's not really like those enormous brand deals. Like you're not on like Mercedes Benz commercials. Then honestly, this platform may not be the best for you. Like you'd be better off at Kick, because at least then you could get 95% of or 92% of your income or whatever. Like it just doesn't really make sense. It's really awful for creators, and I'm
Right.
happy I unaffiliated before they started charging money to do that.
Nah,
Yeah.
it just sucks. I think as like being on the platform for a while, watching things change, watch as like say for instance, like a lot of the things, the reason why a lot of people like may not understand what I love watching is Smash, right? I love watching Smash. Like I'm a very big Smash fan. Smash is like cult, especially like tournaments wise, that is Twitch culture in my opinion. Like SGDQ, big things like that. And for like a lot of those things, they run off of sponsors. Everything that I love watching, like runs off of sponsors. Like a Twitch sub isn't enough, right? And we already know because of Nintendo, like that's not changing, right? So it sucks because a lot of the things that were grassroots about this platform, it's dead.
Mm.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Like if you can't have certain, like say for instance, obviously, like it's like, oh, you guys have a Papa John's deal. We want part of that. So like technically, like basically, we want in on that. When they already know that these things have issues, but again, you're talking about the corporation, so they're doing what like benefits them.
Yeah.
And they did walk back on it, but that probably just means that they're probably working with those groups that are saying like, oh yeah, as esport orgs, we're gonna leave.
Yeah. And it's also the thing too, is like I remember another big internet controversy was when Netflix said that you can't share passwords. They walked that back too, but now it is back. Like I don't think
Yeah.
it kind of shows you, they just showed you the line that they're willing to cross. Like they're very
Facts.
easily, if people didn't say anything yesterday, like let's say Twitter went down, I promise
It would have
you,
been enacted. It would have been in place tomorrow.
it would have been like, you guys didn't say anything when we put it out. You had a 24-hour period or whatever. Like they would not have cared at all. And that's what something y'all should be aware of. Like that's something that a lot of people should be afraid of. It's like, damn, that is a real possibility. Is like this could actually become enacted later down the line. And another thing too that I find like really interesting, that I realized is that not only is this bad for like people who are already working with sponsors on Twitch, but it's bad for people who wanted to sponsor things on Twitch, period. Like
Yeah.
look at what happened to Twitter when Elon took over, and how they lost a lot of advertisements because the website was very volatile, and people decided, you know what, this just isn't worth it. That volatility is something that Twitch just showcased for a lot of the world. Like
Yes.
they just showed that at any point in time, this platform may not be worth investing in. And as a creator, that would absolutely piss me off, because not only did you ruin not only could you have possibly ruined deals for me present, but you might have just taken a lot of money out of people's hands that would have been there if y'all didn't act like a bunch of teenagers are running the website.
I don't even know if it's teenagers. I just think they wanted like they
It's
want to
people who
go a
don't
different
watch Twitch.
direction. That's exactly what I was trying to like more get at. Is like I wonder if they really even like watch at that point. Like, great. It's like one of the things I saw the other day was the fact about the Twitch ambassador that was like, yeah, now we're gonna be more involved when like things are gonna be rolled out. And it's like that wasn't already a thing.
Yeah, like what was the point then?
And I'm not mad at the Twitch ambassadors. Like that's not
it's
what I'm
not their
saying.
fault. It's not their fault at all. They don't like, it's Twitch. Twitch is the one who gives them the power. We can't be mad at the Twitch ambassadors. I can't be mad at the Twitch ambassadors. I really can't be mad at the people who work at Twitch, unless you're somebody who
No.
works at Twitch and makes the decisions. Like you can't really be mad at anybody but the very higher ups, because this decision, as you saw, like that amount of backlash would not have happened if anybody on a lower level, on a lower tax bracket, made that decision or had any voice in the decision. Because anybody with a brain and has been on Twitch for a couple more than like 3 hours of their like lifetime can tell you that that was a bad idea from the jump. It was never
Oh,
going to
very
work.
much so. You know, the funny thing for me is like somebody will always bring up, they're like, oh, but YouTube has this. And I'm like, bro, YouTube doesn't take like 50% of your cut.
Yeah.
Like, I could understand if Twitch said, oh, because of this, we will be, you know, bringing down, like, say, for instance, your cut, whatever, this, that, and the other. Like, we'll make adjustments, and like, we want you guys to work with sponsors that are like, you know, safe at the end of the day. Like, at the end of the day, I know that Raid Shadow Legends and HelloFresh, like, you know, it's how it goes. Like, I don't think anybody that's using them doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Or-
It's real. It's also really interesting just because like the things that YouTube, like I hate when people compare Twitch to YouTube for a variety of reasons. The best thing you can compare it to is honestly Kick, because if we're gonna like compare YouTube to them, like not only is YouTube not taking the 50%, but at any point in time, people can watch your videos. They can watch your videos at any point in time. Tonight at 2 a.m., I can get on and I can watch Ken play some Splatoon, right? I can't do that on Twitch because if he's not live, it is what it is. And even if I watch the VOD, it doesn't help anybody. Like literally nobody's being helped out in that.
No,
case.
you're right.
So there's just things that Twitch is so behind in, and for them to feel like they have like the best thing I can say is like they have the gall to sit here, look you in the face, and be like, "Hey, we need a cut of everything and 50%." Like I thought 50% was a bad deal when I became an affiliate, but I was like, whatever, it's a hobby. Now that I'm more mature, 50% is an awful deal. Like nobody should be signing on to that. And the fact that they want 50 on top of the ad revenue that you don't even know how much you're actually supposed to be getting paid, because they could be making crazy amount of bank, but we have no idea. And on top of all that, now you want to take away the only source of income I have, which you have to go get. Like a lot of these sponsors don't just like, you don't just like turn on Twitch and then you get an email. Like some people don't, you have to wheel and deal some of these sponsorships. You don't just like,
No,
they don't just fall into your lap. And now you're telling me that like you're messing up those opportunities for me. I don't know, man. Kind of nuts.
That's exactly what I'm looking at. As I said, you can always talk about like, as a YouTuber, especially like somebody that's been doing it. I just really feel like you should realize as a content creator how volatile just everything is. Like I think that's like the lesson that like I've looked at for myself, because I'm definitely one of those people that falls into like, I got comfortable, like I got partnered here, like I love here, like I have I have a community here. Like the Splatoon community is, you know, it's something, but you know, it's what I call home kind of. So like it just sucks when you see like certain these things happening, because and like that people can't understand like a type of culture, because like you watched, I don't know, especially as like you watched as Twitch culture change, not Twitch, Twitter culture change because of Elon, right?
Yeah.
Like the website's not the same anymore. They changed it up. Like they made different things. I don't know. I feel like as a website, you would want to keep like what makes your website like, or keeps people coming to your website. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
No, it makes sense. But, you know, the people who are making the decisions don't.
Yeah, it
is-
just sucks at the end of the day. I mean, it's also my biggest problem is that like that's not the only issue. As you said, the simulcast. I look at that and I'm just like, why? Like, what's the point? And then charging $25 to unaffiliate
Yeah.
is kind of
shit is
crazy.
nuts.
I
I
you could just start-
unaffiliated, like I want to say unaffiliated in 2021, like near the time where we started growth.
Right.
And I remember like I did that, and it felt weird at first, and then being like, no, I feel like I can do whatever I want. Like this is pretty sick. Like I have to answer to nobody. And now you're telling me like I'm gonna need that $25, bro. I made $100 on Twitch one time, and the amount of money I spent for Twitch is way more. And now you need $25. Yo, how bad is it over there, bro? Did they increase the rent on the building? Is that what's going on? Like, you gotta talk to the landlord or something. You need 25 of my dollars? Why, bro? You took 50% of my dollars. Why do you need 25 more?
That's actually the funny part about it. When you think about it, it's like, yo, don't you already make money off of their subs? Like, wouldn't that be enough?
You make money off of subs, ads, like, bro, and not to mention all the people who use Twitch Nitro, which also got increased in price.
Mm.
Like, they get all 100% of that profit and 30% of all bits. Bro, y'all have some gambling debts. That's why you guys banned gambling on Twitch. We've cracked the case wide open. They all at the Twitch headquarters have gambling problems, and that is why they banned gambling on Twitch, and that is why they're getting money. They're charging money out the wazoo.
Probably.
You got the MJ and the Dark type beat. Oh, the parlay's killing them.
It's basketball. It's the finals. It is the NBA finals. I'm just saying, it's adding up.
Shit is crazy, bro.
I hope not, man.
I hope not.
I hope not.
He thinks it's not plausible, but it is. But it actually is, man. That it's just insane to think about all this stuff. And again, I'll put it from a personal point of view. Like in the near future, again, we're planning to bring back, you know, some tournaments back into the fray, some live events, you know, just in general, you know, from the growth side. So how is that? We're just like, we look at, I know me, when, you know what I'm saying, Charles, you know what I'm saying, everybody, we're all looking at it like, yo, so if we can't do what we do like last time, you know what I'm saying, where we just put our ads up because, you know what I'm saying, we'll most likely, you know what I'm saying, have some stuff from Elgato on display and, you know, have up for some of the prize winners, like, yo,
Right.
what do we do? What is that? You know what I'm saying? I know me. I'll just pick up a move. We'll take our shit to the YouTube channel. That's fine by me. That's cool. But it's just very baffling to see how quickly Twitch kind of imposed themselves in the situation. Be like, yo, we want cuts of everything. And it's like, bro, who are you to talk? I don't care if you've been here 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, bro. You might have some people fooled, but if you pay attention, like, bro, you're not the be all end all of this, bro. I feel like, unfortunately, they think they are. So they're moving with moving with near impunity, trying to drop these crazy ass like updates, like, oh, like this is it. But man, they're in for a rude awakening. I'm telling you, they're in for a rude awakening because I feel like we're hitting that point where more and more people are starting to at least wake up and realize, yo, you can actually make a move. You can actually make a move off this joint and go somewhere else and still have, you know what I'm saying, success and growth and actual progression somewhere else. At least that's my hope.
I agree with you.
Yeah. At least that's my hope, bro. Please don't get marooned on one platform. Excuse me. Yeah, don't get marooned on one platform, please. Oh my goodness, for the love of me. If you're serious about content creation, even just streaming, because those two are not the same thing, but if you are just serious about creating content, just don't do it in one place. Don't do it in just one place because you are likely to get marooned, and that's not a good sign.
Also, go ahead. It's something that like you should like just take into account and like see look at all your options. And that's something I was told at the beginning. I didn't really look at all of my options. I kind of like looked at them, but I looked at what options were most fun. If you're
cool
going in it,
man.
no, it is, and it still kind of is a little bit, not really.
It is.
Of course.
But it's like, if you're in it for absolutely zero money, you just have people who are on Twitch who you know want to watch you. You're like, I don't care about money. I don't care about consistently streaming. I'm just here for the vibes. I think that's Twitch. If you're here for like, I want to stream to get money, that's Kick. Like that's 1000% what that platform is for at this point. And if you're here for like content creation and like just doing more than just streaming, it's definitely like YouTube. At least that's for me the way I see it. I've streamed on all of them. The only one I really haven't spent too much time on is Kick, but I mean, like the way it's set up, it's basically just green Twitch. So I'm not really pressed. I feel like a lot of the knowledge transfers over, but it's just kind of sad to see. And honestly, like it's one of those things where like you got to see the writing. And the more you want to ignore it, the worse it's gonna be for when you do have to jump ship, because it doesn't seem like things are going to get significantly better.
It doesn't. It's just more like I think for a lot of people, it's like they know the house is burning, but it's like, what do you really do? I mean, there's also like other options. That's like the biggest thing, and especially like I think with like TikTok, Kick, YouTube, there are a lot of options now. And as I said, for a lot of I think especially for like the mid-sized streamers, that's the biggest problem. Is that like it's like yes, there are options, but it's still like I have to rebuild. I have to do things over. So that's always like the scary part about a lot of things, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
it's the work of rebuilding. It's the work of building again. It's the work of trying to taking something. Is not being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And
nah, Honestly, I kind of one of the biggest things that I kind of really wish is that they would just if I don't know if they would just explain things a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't like I feel like there is no reason that like out of nowhere you're now no it's not out of nowhere. Let me not say that. They were probably had this planned, everything like that. You know I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like having a more formal open discussion, especially for a platform that is with people that do this for their like hobby.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's me. Like, I just feel like, especially for like, you know, a platform that was like gaming, interaction, stuff like that, you would feel like that would be more of the feel that they want. Like, where is the cool? Like, I know that they've been on other like people's Twitch streams, but like, I don't know. I just expect a little bit more at this point now, especially as like time like has gone on. Bigger people have made the platform like you know massive. How do you not look when like you're like I don't feel like it's a good thing if you just have like Ninja not streaming on your platform at all just because you don't want somebody simulcasting. Like isn't that kind of crazy?
It is to me. It might not be to everybody else, but to me, I feel like that's just. I don't know what it is, man. Is it a lack of foresight? Is it arrogance? Is it just they're just looking for the bottom line? It's just a lack of. This is some type of level of coldness that I don't agree with right now. You know what I'm
Coldness
saying?
is definitely the right answer.
Calculating. They just hear about that bottom dollar and nothing else, and it's like it's tough and it's palpable. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's cool.
Yeah, man, you don't care. You haven't been streaming since forever, so you good.
I mean, I can't. I have
Stop
some
acting
sympathy.
like you've been streaming.
I have sympathy for people.
Stop acting like you've been streaming. No,
have-
I mean, I have sympathy for the same thing. I'm not like on like for myself. I've took it as a learning. I've been on this platform, and I've said this before for 7 years, and I look at this more as a learning thing. And I would love for any other content creators that are out there listening. Don't hold on to one platform. I'm not telling people like, yo, the YouTube side is better. YouTube could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, good.
YouTube really could change tomorrow. So it's more about the idea of like trying to be more flexible as a creator, like trying not to hold yourself to like the I'm a platform. Like I obviously if you're big, if you're massive, if you're huge, I get that. But I feel like to a point you got to just realize that like not everything is for you. It's like when you're doing a job, like most of us know that these jobs are not for us anymore. It's very hard to find one that is.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Twitch would be any different. So that's kind of just my thought process on it.
Yeah. It's something that like I had to go through a lot, well, twice in my life. It's just like this era of like reconstruction. I'm never afraid to reconstruct if I know that the end result will be better than where I started. And that's why like for me, I feel bad, but I'm also kind of just like, yo, it's like going to the doctors. Like I don't want to go to the doctors either, bro, but we got to do it, or you're gonna be fucked down the line, kind of thing.
Right.
Reconstruction is very hard. I don't think it's something to like look in the face and be like I'm not. I feel for anybody who's like I gotta redo all this shit. Like you do, and I'm sorry that you have to. But it's also like if you don't, what you are at the whim of this person that you can tell does not care about you.
That's
And
true.
honestly, I'd rather be. If it was like a money thing, I'd rather be making 30K without the anxiety of like fucking of losing my platform to whatever. Because like that's the thing. That's another thing you need to think about is like if you're on Twitch, for example, at any point in time you could lose those sponsors that are paying your bills. So
That's
do you
very
want to stay here and just hope and pray that they don't fuck you because right now it's the easiest option for you? Or do you want to take that extra time out of your day to do the things that you need to do to put yourself in a position that if Twitch were to go away tomorrow, you wouldn't be in a horrible position. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And it's not
fair.
easy. It's not easy. I don't want people to think that like I completely understand. I've given up a lot of my content creation to be in the position in my life that I am now. Like I have to look at like
Facts.
streaming days. I used to stream all the time. I stream maybe once a week now. Like I have to give up a lot so that I can be in a comfortable position so that I don't have to worry about these kind of decisions. Like, so I can do things like be on YouTube, be on all the platforms, and not get money from none of this shit, and do it because I want to. And that's why I like to do it. So from the content creator side, like, you guys might have to do this uncomfortable ass move, but think about how much better how much of a better position you're going to be in, because you no longer have to worry about like, yo, I hope Raid Shadow Legends chooses me from the Twitch bounty board so that I can get bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, man, I want y'all to be better. And I'm like, if you don't stand up for this shit too, like, if you just let this shit happen, they're only going to keep pushing. They're only going to keep pushing.
No, you're right. They are. But like, going forward, as I said, for me, it's just more like, I think for myself, it's just more like I'm going to be mixing things up, trying to do different things, going about things like as basically careful as I can, and trying not to be comfortable. That's basically my thing, is just trying not to be comfortable. If I'm comfortable, there's probably something wrong.
Yeah. There's always more you can do.
I agree with that. Honestly, I agree. And I listen. I'm not. Wait a minute. I'm not a streamer. Actually, I can't speak on this. My fault. My bad. My bad. My bad, guys.
Next no cooldown, we might be streamers though. But that's on the low. That's on the low.
That's on the low. It's on the low. But hey. But speaking of for real, I will be honest. Like, if the proper people didn't talk to me at the time, like, you know, almost a year ago now, probably a few months away, but a year ago, I would have been miserable, but I would have been, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing, like streaming on Twitch like multiple times a week, doing the, you know, the news reports and all that stuff like that, just slaving away, but not really being happy with what I want to do creatively. If I did that, but I put the streaming stuff aside, I'm like, listen, I want to focus on quality. I want to focus on actually doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie. Again, we've said this before, but you got a part. Most of you has to be here for the love of the game, and I'm here for the love of the game. I want to be great. I want to do this stuff right. I want to put my stamp on things. I want to, you know what I'm saying, tell stories and tell it my way, and just make an impact that way. And that's gonna take more time than just streaming 4 to 5 times a week. And, you know what I'm saying, barely having enough time to do that between work and life and all this other stuff. I needed to recalibrate. And so, you know, for me, it's a tough decision, because I would obviously love to keep streaming. I would love to keep the momentum going, make it like, you know, 1K, all these subathons and all that stuff like that. But I know it's not conducive to my creative goals. So I had to make the executive decision at the end of the day, excuse me, to just stop and realize, like, yo, I have to take my time if I really want to do what I'm supposed to do, what I want to do, what I think I'm meant to do in this creative space. So it was just taking that time and acknowledging, like, bro, I gotta do things differently. I can't be a cog in that wheel, and I can't still just be only on Twitch or dropping a clip here or there. I have to diversify, and I have to do things differently to make it and succeed the way I want to. Not just succeed in everybody's type, you know what I'm saying, make it to 1K subs, get a few hype trains and stuff like that. That doesn't necessarily satisfy me, you know what I'm saying? For some people it does, and that's cool. But I know for me, I know I can do a lot of different things creatively and satisfy and tick a lot of boxes that way that just isn't available for me on something like just streaming 5 times a day on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Or 5 times a day or 5 times a week on Twitch. It just isn't there. So got to make that decision. At the end of the day, you got to understand, most of these companies don't care about you. All these companies don't care about you. They really don't. And it's like, you got to find what's best for you. Your setup, your schedule, your content, your purpose, your journey, all that stuff. It's literally up to you to make that best decision for yourself, because no company's going to make it for you. If they make that decision for you, you're not going to like how it turns out. I promise you.
No, that's real. That's real. But yeah, I think that's honestly, I think that's really it for me on my part of like just where Twitch is at.
Yeah,
it's almost like beating a dead horse at this point. So
it is, and this horse is like, damn, this horse is dead as hell, bro. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness, it's a corpse at this point, cadaver.
It's like, why do we keep standing around this horse at this point?
Facts.
Like,
it's been in the sun for days. Been in the sun for days. Flies all on it. The buzzards done got it. Like,
the same people go home, come back, beat the horse again. You're like, man, why am I still participating in this cycle?
Oh man, I was about to say, we do have a live question which I will answer here. I was about to say, I can bring it up though. It said, What will it take for Twitch to start helping out the smaller creators, though? I mean, I assume these changes they're
Ship has
making
sailed.
are for short-term profits. What can a small creator do that's beneficial to both Twitch and themselves? That's tough because I don't think those are intertwined things. Either you do what's good for
Anymore,
yourself.
yeah.
Anymore. You can't do what's good for Twitch and what's good for yourself. You got to do what's good for yourself. Because if you do what's good for Twitch, you're just gonna follow their rules and not really do what's the best, what's in your best interest. Possibly again, like doing things, diversifying. You know what I'm saying? Actually following guidelines and probably not sticking to certain agreements that Twitch will put out. You know what I'm saying? It's just the different interests. Twitch is a different entity than it was when it started. I feel like their primary concern is bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Logistics, money. How can they preserve as much profit and, you know what I'm saying, keep their margins high as possible? It's tough. It's tough. And especially for a small creator, like it's hard because you have all these questions. You know, to me, I'm still a small creator in a sense. I don't want to verbalize that language and self-talk because, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to content and actual quality, like I'm one of them fucking ones. But in terms of sizing, yes, I am on the smaller side, but still you have to figure out what do you want to do, your identity on this platform. If you haven't even figured that out by now, you know what I'm saying, what you want to deliver, what you want to bring, what style, content, all these questions. And on top of that, you have the, where do I stream? What platform? If I get affiliate, what do I sign? There's all this stuff that you're learning and all this new stimuli that you're getting for the first time. It's easy to fall into the trap of so many predatory practices like the affiliate contracts and all that stuff. You have to take your time and do what's best for you. That's literally it. There is no best for a company. There is no beneficial for Twitch. You have to do what's best for you at almost all times. You got to do what's best to with respect to your creative craft and respect to your survival, because you don't want to get messed up and screwed over.
Yeah. I didn't like the phrase like beneficial to Twitch, because I promise you they wouldn't have started this company if it wasn't already beneficial to them. And that's how you should kind of always operate. There's like, it's weird, it's nasty, because with business you kind of have to operate with this level of coldness when it comes to certain things. With your fellow creators, you don't have to be that way. But in certain aspects, like you're never going to be beneficial. You're already beneficial to Twitch. Being on the platform by itself, that's already a benefit to them. You don't have to like work for their approval, because at the end of the day, they don't make partner because you're cool with them. And Twitch is like, man, I fucks with this guy. You make partner because you bring in a lot of people, and a lot of people spend money on their platform, and you're the cause of that. That's why you're a partner. You're a partner because they're like, yo, we gotta give props to where it's due to the people who are like putting like food in our plates. Because if it was about that, you would be having more conversations with Twitch, like the Twitch staff, than like being actual like partners. I mean, just look at the partners that were super controversial and are still Twitch partners. Why? It's not because Twitch is like, we like this guy. It's because at the end of the day, they're the most beneficial people. So don't ever worry about being beneficial to the company, because you are already a benefit to them no matter what.
Right.
Yeah. And then Kendall already answered that first part of the question. Twitch will never start helping out the smaller creators. We don't make enough money for them. You know what I'm saying? Like Twitch
would have to get nuked to the ground, everything resets, like literally starting from scratch.
Son.
All creators reset, and then they're like, well, there was like a big like Thanos level snap. So hey, small creators, come back, because we don't know who the big ones are, and everything got reset. So, you know, small creator, like that's when they'll care about the small creators.
It would take a blip to fix that shit. Nah, that's not happening. I'm sorry. Corporations helping out small people, never heard of it.
Nah, not with Amazon behind them.
Yeah, facts. You think Bezos clearing that? Helping the little guy? What? Nah, man.
He's gonna get in his rocket ship to be in space when he flips us off. That's what he's gonna say to that. He's gonna launch a rocket to space and put all those CO2 in the sky just to fuck us.
Honestly, bruh. Honestly, man. Crazy. But yeah. Speaking of, you know what I'm saying, I guess just flipping people off, you know, some competitor sites were definitely rubbing Twitch's nose in the fiasco that was yesterday. Outside of, you know, all the weird things that were happening. Also, this is a random side note. Did y'all see Twitch's CEO on, I think it was,
Yes.
what's the
I'm
name?
Dante.
I'm Dante's channel. He was talking about angles and pissing and stuff like that. I'm like, what is going on this platform today, dog? What are we doing here? Like, are people good?
No.
No.
Dog, the kids are not all right. The kids are not all right. Neither are the
It's
adults,
not the
honestly.
kids. It's everybody at Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch, man. What's up with y'all water, man? What's up with y'all water? I don't know. Something's up with y'all. But anyways, a couple competitors were definitely, you know what I'm saying, licking their lips and, you know, rubbing it in on the timeline, having a good old time. And funnily enough, a good old company by the name of Kick.com had a lot of rumblings about some of their services they were offering and updating. And there was some word of a potential paid program for some of their, you know, I guess Kick streamers or Kick affiliates. I don't know the official name for it, but the rumor was for this deliverable program, if you sign on for it and you're in it, whatever, you get a rate of $16 per hour on a weekly basis for Kick talent. It said paid hours are only counted if talent is visible on stream, awake and engaging with the chat, blah, blah, blah. And then on top of that, you remain your 95-5 split on all subs. So how are y'all feeling about a potential, I guess, paid weekly rate for certain, you know, Kick talent that does get signed to the program, if this is true?
Sounds terrible.
It doesn't sound realistic. Like
No.
I love the idea of like being, you know, like I'm 16. What's my summer job? Oh, streaming on Kick. Like that'd be sick. And if you can get that following to do that, bro, if you're like 16, sure, go crazy. But I feel like the people who are gonna get paid to do that have a following where they can make significantly more than $16 an hour doing
Yeah.
content creation. So like, unless they're paying literally everybody, even the people with 3 viewers per, like 3 viewer average, like I wouldn't. I'm a small content creator. I don't like using the word either, but like if we're doing metrics, my numbers are not that impressive. But I would not be streaming for $16 an hour. Like even I know my worth.
No. No.
You're like
No.
$16 an hour, not including taxes that they're gonna take out. And active and talking in chat. Like, what if your chat decides to slow down? You know, is it raps for you? Are you off the clock? You know what I'm saying? Like
Somebody's gonna figure out a bot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too, is like I don't think that the people that they're aiming that towards are gonna get that. Like, and another thing too, remember what I said at the beginning of the whole Twitch conversation. Don't let one platform like shoehorn, like you keep you locked in, bro. Because like they can
There's
easily
some
at any
contract.
point, yeah, like they can easily at any point just be like, yeah, we're actually dropping it from 16 to like 7.25. And then you're like, damn,
Yeah,
I just
ain't
lost all
getting
that money, but
minimum
what am I gonna do?
wage.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, tough.
So
That's
yeah,
just
no,
stupid,
no. You could never be like, for me to be like, yeah, I want to do a minimum wage for
Mm.
streaming. No. No,
and-
I'm good. I'm good.
And this
I'm okay.
is my thing about Kick though. Right now, they've provided some really, really ambitious goals and ambitious policies again, the 95-5 split, which I think is great. I think it's fantastic. We went for over 100, but you know, 95-5, fair. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the norm, this is really good. But it's just sustainability. Like how long until you guys start pulling, you know, a typical corporation thing and start switching the policies, changing things and reverting back, you know, to what the standard is, and, you know, reducing some of the splits, adding some more policies as you guys get bigger and you have more, you know, investors or people watching you. You know what I'm saying? Where does that clock, you know, turn? Where does that corner turn in terms of that? And that's what I'm, I guess, not fearful of, but just watching out for. When are they going to make that turn to where there's some more staunch policies on how they operate, and it's going to be less creator friendly as they get bigger, and, you know, they need more secure, just a secure confidence from, again, whether investors or
Are
people.
you really asking this question, bro? It's a natural progression of
No,
capitalism.
no.
So, of course.
No. I'm not asking if. I'm asking when. I'm asking when is that going to happen? You know what I'm saying?
Whatever the natural progression of capitalism happens.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's fair. I mean, shit, it could be a month, it could be a year. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is I'm skeptical because I know it doesn't last forever. So when is it going to turn? You know what I'm saying? When are people going to start turning on Kick like that? When are people going to start realizing, hey, the grass isn't always greener on the other side? It's cool right now. It's solid right now.
They already do.
Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. All I'm saying is nice try, but this policy here looks a little bit wild to me. I don't feel the need to be tied down to any one streaming platform because that shit is oof. It's looking bleak, man. It's looking bleak on all sides. I have realized over the past few months that the importance of community is so paramount, man. It's so paramount. And that's what I feel like that's something I never really like fully put thought to beforehand.
Right.
I just want to make shit, you know what I'm saying? But then I never realized how many people would actually like the shit I create and like, you know, want to be involved in it. And like some people actually do, you know, I haven't streamed in months, but some people actually do mystery streaming. I'm like, oh shoot, thanks. I appreciate that. I didn't think that'd be a thing, but I now have it in my head where there may be people out there who see what I create and want to actually have more conversation with me, be, you know, around there and have a community. And I feel like that's a part of the equation that a lot of people just kind of overlook if they don't have it blaring in their face. The aspect of community and the aspect of having love for the game is probably the two most important things you can be cognizant of in your journey. Because if you don't have those, I feel like you don't have enough mobility and strength to do whatever you want to do and be responsive enough to just be sustainable wherever you go. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree with you.
Yeah. So that's what's been on my mind lately, man. I feel like don't underestimate community, bro. Don't ever underestimate community because that's what keeps everything flowing. And that's gonna be one of my goals going forward. Honestly, I never considered it before. I never really thought about it before because again, me, I just want to make stuff, but I never knew the impact of what me making stuff would have, and that's a knock-on effect, the community. So one of my goals over the next few months, you know what I'm saying, and definitely check and balance me on this, is working better and working harder to foster community. That's going to involve, you know, Discord server, being more responsive to different people, all that stuff, and building that, you know, building that camp up, building that village up. So if I don't have a community this time next year, or at least have the foundations of one, y'all can whoop my ass later. How about that?
I feel that.
But yeah, outside of that, that was pretty much it. We just had a real quick impromptu episode. Anything else that we might have missed from you know, the occurrences of the past few days?
Nah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it as well. Anything else? When?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we had, man. Wu-Tang said it best, people. Diversify your bonds, man. Diversify your bonds. Closing notes for this episode of the Growth Podcast, this ad hoc episode. I'm gonna throw it to Kendall first. Go ahead, bro. Closing notes.
Nothing really. I said it what I've needed to say about content creation. Content is really just like what you're able to create. The platforms are just there for you to use and spread your content, and that's really it at the end of the day. These aren't like gang initiations. You don't have to like get branded with YouTube and Twitch or TikTok, whichever one it is. Social media platforms, like, you know, they come and go and they're going to make decisions. So it's just like you need to move accordingly.
You heard the man. You heard the man. When closing notes for this episode of the Growth Podcast.
Remember, you are the best asset. You are the biggest asset. Never let anybody convince you otherwise. A lot of the times, these companies or these platforms will have you thinking they're doing you a favor. They would not have you there if it wasn't a benefit to them. So remember that. Always remember that. You are a benefit.
All right.
That's crazy, bro. That's real stuff. I was gonna say something stupid. I should have went before you, man. I was gonna say go see the new Transformers, man, because I heard that shit's hot. God damn.
That shit does look cool.
Yeah. And now I look all tuckered out. Now I look stupid. Damn it. Anyways, make sure you go check out the Growth Podcast on all social platforms and audio platforms. Spotify for podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Just type in All for Growth or The Growth Podcast, and we should be there. Also check out our YouTube at All for Growth. All social channels, all social platforms at All for Growth. Got a lot of stuff coming in the summertime you don't want to miss. I'm giving you, this is your last warning before I go 0 dark 30. This is the last time I'm going to say it. Don't miss out on the Growth summer content. It's cooking. It's cooking. It's cooking. No rock theme song, so you do not want to miss anything. But keep your eyes peeled. That's all I'll say. And make sure you check out all the dope individual content from everybody in the Growth Squad. You know what I'm saying? Top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? Check out everybody. They got dope stuff going on, dope content, streams popping damn near every day, videos dropping damn near every day, every week. You know what I'm saying? From all of us across the board. Some dope content coming from the Growth channel on YouTube as well. Make sure you lock in and check us out. Again, don't get left behind. You don't want to miss all the dope stuff. Be entertained, man. Come tap in. And with that being said, this has been another episode of the Growth Podcast. The gang is gone.